Hello, so today I want to talk about borderline personality disorder. Now, borderline personality disorder tends to comorbid with narcissism. Comorbid means mixed, so people with borderline personality disorder tend to have traits of narcissism, or people with narcissistic personality disorder tend to have traits of borderline personality disorder. And I've only just learned this information today, and it's quite extraordinary, and I'm totally blown away, and I really wanted to share it. And I really didn't know this, and it makes so much sense to me. And now I'm conscious of this. It's just spectacular. So anyway, I wanted to share. Now, borderline personality disorder do something called they have something called scemo modes. It's 5 individual modes, and the borderline can switch through the modes in zero point 0.5 seconds. And if you ever had a conversation with a borderline, or if you ever looked at a borderline selfies, you can sort of, it explains it. So let's just talk about having a conversation with a borderline. I'm sure you have at some point had a conversation with a borderline, and they can go from, their expressions can just like change in like seconds, and they, one minute they think they're angry, and the next minute you think, oh, they're happy, and you're a little bit confused at how the borderline is feeling. So the modes kind of make sense. Or if you look at a borderline's selfies, sometimes they can just look like almost like a psychopath, and then other times they can look like a sweet and innocent person, and it really does make sense, the modes. So anyway, the modes are abandoned child mode, angry child mode, punitive parent mode, detached detector mode, and adult mode. So that's the 5 individual modes, and we're going to go into detail. So the abandoned child mode is vulnerable, fragile, helpless, alone, innocent. They idolize nurturing, and they express their emotions in actions rather than words. The angry child mode, this is not something used too often. This is usually a build-up of all the other modes. This is the angry child mode, and it's a rage, abusive, excuse me, controlling, manipulative, and reckless. They act out to get their needs met in this mode. And then you have punitive parent. And this is basically punishing themselves by starvation, self-harm, cutting, saying horrible things about themselves, suicide or suicidal threats, self-destructive. And then you have detached protector. Now, this is a mode that is used most by the borderline, and they're in this mode basically pretty much all the time. And this is cut off all their emotional needs. They're disconnected. They're doing what people want them to do and expect them to do from the head rather than their heart. Boredom, binging, self-mutilization, and is that the right word? I think so. And almost robot-like. So they're in that mode pretty much most of the time. Totally relate to that. So yeah, and the last mode is the adult mode. Now, this mode is created, so this is not a defense mechanism from the borderline. The other 4 that I've listed are defense mechanisms from the borderline, which, like I said, they can switch from either one of those 4 modes within 0.5 seconds. It's very confusing for the outside person to understand. The adult mode is created by the therapist, and the borderline. Now, this mode is almost like a protector of all the other modes. So this is a created mode, and basically what it does is we nurture and protect the abandoned child. We teach the angry child how to express anger in a healthy manner. We expel the punitive parent, abolish the punitive parent, whatever you want to call it, and we replace the detached protector. So this is an healthy adult mode which will be created. But the other 4 modes, like I said, the abandoned child, the angry child, the punitive parent, and the detached detector, defense mechanisms by the borderline. And I did not know that, and like, oh my god. So thank you and goodbye.